And we back. Welcome back to Live Inside the Booth. I'm your host, Marlon Lowe. Got another exciting show for you today. We have some special guests. Once again, we're going to be talking about the Jim Hicks RCS Sports Icebreaker that happened this past weekend in Houston, Texas. They had teams from all around the state of Texas, including Louisiana, from Houston to Dallas to the Centex, the Central Texas area. Incredible show, incredible event that put on. Jim Hicks we're going to talk about the 1600 groups today, the class of 2021 primarily. We might touch in on some other guys as well. But Jim Hicks has 79 teams in the 1600 division this past weekend. I know he had 21 in his showcase event and 58 in the actual tournament. 29 in the showcase and 58 in the actual tournament. That's 79 teams that played in the 1600 division this past weekend. And obviously 3D 1500s won the whole thing, so they actually played up. But just the fact that just in that division alone had 79 teams was incredible. Before we get started, before we bring our guests in, make sure, like I said, if you're on Twitter and you have Twitter, follow us on Twitter at Inside Booth on Twitter. Subscribe to the YouTube page. Look at that. Look at it. You see that subscribe button? It should be red. Go ahead and click that for us right now. Click that. That'd be good so you can get the updates and know where we're going. Hit that thumbs up button at any point in time. Hit that thumbs up button so we can continue to grow the broadcast. We can grow the broadcast and we can expand on some good media that everybody likes to know and hear when you get faces that you know. Also hit that share button. Let your friends and everybody know what you're watching. Give them an opportunity to see, oh, who is that? Let me see what's going on with this, or who these gentlemen are, and hopefully speak some ladies on here as well. So that's going to be big. So without any further ado, let's bring in our guest right now. We got Marcus Sloan going to be coming in with OTR exposure. We got Brandon Jenkins coming in. He's going to be talking from the Central Texas area. He's with Prep Hoops. And we got Ani Umana coming in, and he was five state report. So let's get these guys inside the booth. We can talk about Jim Hicks and his RCS Spring Icebreaker that happened this past weekend. Let's get the guys in. Let's talk a little basketball. What's going on, fellas? How y'all doing?
What's up, man? What's going on, Lo?
Everybody straight. Listen. I'll be slow at trying to get my introduction together, man. I'm getting better at this thing, but I took a couple weeks off, like I said, because I wanted to kind of let the basketball season run its course from high school, because all the players were so busy with practice and the coaches was trying to win state and things of that nature. And hey, we even had coach from Mansfield Timberview inside the booth. They won the championship. Hey. I'm going to give myself some kudos on that, but it's all good.
That'd be the podcast.
Yeah. But, hey, so, guys, I gave a quick brief introduction before we came inside, before we got us all inside the booth here. And we want to talk about, obviously, Jim Hicks and had his RCS Spring Icebreaker this past weekend. It was year 19 is what I was told. It was year 19. I thought it was like 17. So it was like he's been doing it for like 19 years, and it's been phenomenal. It's been blowing up. 79 teams in the 1600 division, and the class of 24 that played up in the class of 21 division. So we want to kind of break those things down and get your feedback on everything that you all are doing. So like I said before, we got Marcus Sloan in here with OTR exposure. On Twitter, he's at Big Sloan 32, y'all. So follow him on Twitter at Big Sloan 32. Website is otrexposure.com. We got Ani Umana in here. Ani, ANI _ Umana, UMANA. He's with 5 State Hoop Report. Make sure you follow him as well. And we got Brandon Jenkins. Brandon, his Twitter is Brandon Jenkins 5. Put a 5 in there instead of the S.
Yes, sir.
And you on point. Now, I don't know if Brandon and Ani respond on Twitter like Sloan does, but like Sloan said before, he's always with the smoke. If you want to bring it to him on Twitter and ask him about this and that, he's with it. So I don't know if Brandon and Ani with the same thing. They might be low key.
I let Sloan do with that.
All right, okay. I don't have no problem with that. Say to each his own.
Only time I like smoke freeze at the hotels. That's it.
Okay, and there we go. So let's get started talking about and at the same time, I want listen, if we got some viewers out there, y'all are watching, let's get ready to talk about if you have some questions, you got a little chat on there, you can chat and it'll show up on the screen for the guys to be able to hopefully answer some questions. But let's get started with the 16 division. Brandon, I'd like for maybe you to take the lead on this. Let's talk about maybe some key matchups that you saw this past weekend. And hopefully tomorrow we'll go all full speed on 17 unders, all full speed ahead. But some key matchups or teams that you saw from this past weekend that may have impressed you.
Well, as y'all know, it was a great weekend for basketball. And the first matchup that I saw was a Saturday night matchup between PB Nation, formerly Yes to Success. They matched up with Houston Hoops. And one of the most interesting thing about PB Nation squad is that they're made up of mostly Houston players, and then they have a few San Antonio and a few Dallas players mixed up with them. But they really wanted to win this game. You could tell by the way, the energy that they brought onto the court. They matched up with Houston Hoops 16U, and they got the best of them, beating them by 15 points. It was a very, very good game. And then earlier that day, I seen Texas Hard Work 16U that will be playing on the Under Armour circuit this spring/summer. And they matched up with the Florida League squad. I was only able to catch a half, but it was an exciting half of basketball. A few standouts were their two top prospects in Jay-Sean Jackson, the brother of UNT signee Jalen Jackson. And he picked up right where he left State, played great defense and whatnot. And Benson, I struggle with his last name. Chukwu, and he stood out as well. He has a chance to be really special. He always plays to his size, utilizes his counter shots and block shots. But Florida Lee played hard from Louisiana, and they ended up winning that game. And then, so those were the main two matchups that I saw. I also caught Florida Lee play PB Nation as well, and they squeezed by them. They got a 2-point win, but PB Nation was still playing hard as ever, and they went away 1-1 on their spring icebreaker debut.
Okay. Any guys in particular stand out to you in those two games?
For PB Nation, yes. John Massey, I loved his activity on the court. He played with a whole bunch of energy. Byron Armstrong, he was fresh off of a TAP 6A state championship, and he's new to PB Nation. He used to play for the Next Level Raiders, and he came in and he did what he does best: attack the rim. He made open shots, and showed his athleticism. Strong combo. He has a chance to make some noise this summer. And then Trevor Prassmore from Cypress Woods was a new guy that stood out to me. I heard of his name before, but I never got a chance to see him play. But it seemed like every shot that he hit, he gained some energy. He had his teammates hype. He's a great team player, and was really trying to compete on defense. He was a really good player. And then the main player was Sam Onu, the big man. And I think he has a big chance, a very, very big chance, a legitimate chance to blow up nationally, just with his chisel arm, his size, ability to block shots and rebound. Skill is coming on the offensive end, but he's a promising prospect.
Okay, that's good. What about you, Ani? What'd you see? Did you get a chance to watch any of those games either?
Yeah. Well, not on the matchups, but I saw 3D.
Okay.
Their 2022 team actually won the 16U tournament title, the gold bracket, and they had about 3 kids that I really liked. The kid Ryan Argawal, about 6'5", 6'6". I remember Ryan last year in a couple local showcases, and he actually played on 3D second team last year. But talented, long, can shoot it, handle it, pass the ball. Still a little raw in some areas, but I mean, very talented player. And then you got Zia Brown. It's always kind of just steady driver, really gets the spots, hit shots. I mean, he was just that engine offensively. Him and Anthony Black, whose dad's actually in the Baylor Hall of Fame for basketball. Anthony Black was just real big on the press, deflected passes, created havoc defensively, really made it hard for opposing offenses to really initiate their plays, and he did a lot of stuff going towards the rim. But 3D definitely, they got about 3 or 4 guys to definitely take a look at, and they played up and they won.
There it is. There it is.
And then I got to see a little bit of Dallas Showtime, saw a little bit of Urban. I mean, there's some talent there. I don't really recognize any names per se, but Big E and Jazz, they're always going to put some really good young groups out. Definitely going to take a look at them more in this upcoming weeks.
Right. Yeah, we know what Big E and Jazz are going to do. I seen him walking. I seen him roaming the halls up there. Big E throw the towel over his shoulder as he walking down, so we know what's happening.
Right.
We know he get ready.
Got the long, lanky forwards that run the floor, play hard, don't complain. They always got dudes that, do things that translate.
Yeah. Sloan, what about you? What 16 teams you saw for the matchups?
So the first matchup I saw the Houston Hoops 16s play against Team Harden. There's one of the matchups I saw a really good game. Bryce Griggs got it going early with a 30-foot three, start the game off. So, anytime he hit his first shot, get it going, get the clap in his hands, he'll have a good game. Back and forth game, Harden jumped out early. The Hoops made a run the second half. Damari Williams, 6'5" guard out of Forster High School, scored 12 points in that second half of that game against Harden, played really well. R.J. Keene had a big game, had 23 against Team Harden, man. But Javon Jackson, combo guard at Summer Creek, sophomore, 2021 kid, played really well. He and Griggs in the backcourt are really, really tough in their both buckets. They kind of took turns, at the end of that game, kind of your turn, my turn, going to score against the Hoops. Second half, P.J. Neal for the Hoops pushed the ball, got guys easy layups, but Team Harden ended up prevailing. Another game I saw was that JL3 Elite versus Harden. And the kid I have ranked number 1 in the city, Javier Francis, showed up for that game. He had 17 points, 11 rebounds for JL3. Really tight game. Harden won that game too, 66-65. Griggs went for 27 that night, and the kid Javon Jackson had 21. So that backcourt is really, really tough, man. They can score. They got the young freshman from Shadow Creek, Sean Jones, on that team. He's kind of long, mismatch problems. He played well all 3 games, probably averaged around 12 points, 9 rebounds in 2 games I saw him.
Sean Jones. I had somebody ask me about Sean Jones. They thought he was playing on the 1500 team when they
16. Started on 16U team.
Started on 16. What's some
expand upon Sloan with that JL3 team. Griffin Datcher, I thought, had a really good showing. Rebounded, played hard, got to the rim. He showed he can defend. He can show he can hit open shots. I thought he was a difference maker. Even though they lost, he was a big. Him and Javier Francis were a huge reason that they were.
See, Griffin Datcher out of Oak Ridge, he had 23 points that game. And now that Will Young, who was expected to be probably a lead scorer, is out with a stress fracture in his foot, Griffin will be counted on to kind of be the leader of that group and step up and take on some of Will's scoring load.
Yeah, I saw Griffin play early on Saturday morning myself. I'm not going to get into it, but I did see him attacking that rim real well. I saw him catch one off the rim.
Yes.
That was like he got a strong body, physical frame, man. I know a lot of college coaches will like, and they love those strong guys that's going to come in and ready to kind of, with a good body already, So,
yeah, you kind of question what position he is, but if you put him out on the floor, he's going to make plays. And that's kind of
yeah. And I like him attacking. Brandon, what other matchups you saw that kind of intrigued you a little bit?
Outside of the Central Texas matchups, I kind of already was familiar with the matchups that Sloan and Anya mentioned. I got a chance to see a little bit of Urban DFW and what they brought to the table. And their team is actually pretty loaded for Adidas 16U. I mean, you got players like Elijah Huey coming off the bench, and then you have CJ Ford from Duncanville starting at the point, Drew Crippen and Shannon Lowry from Mansfield starting at the wing, and then Cameron Taylor, a recent state champion big. He's playing on the post. So their team is pretty loaded, and they have a chance to be very, very special throughout the summer. They're going to be a team that people fear. And Just back to Sloan mentioning on the Harden versus Houston Hoops game, RJ King really got hot at the right time. I was able to watch that, and he hit like I think 2 or 3 threes back to back, and even hit some layups. Just made stuff happen. I really like him as a player. He brings a lot of energy to the floor, and he cut that lead down to 2, but they weren't able to finish it. But I was really impressed with what he was bringing to the table.
Yeah. RJ King played on Concordia Lutheran, man. They had a really strong season year, big time year, man. He's got a pedigree as well. His dad was from Illinois.
Some bloodlines right there.
So, say it again, Connie?
Some bloodlines, some strong family bloodlines.
Definitely. So, and I think as I watched RJ, to me, it's all about definitely has a smooth stroke. Got a lot of confidence in his shooting range. I think that when he gets a little stronger, then it's really going to really take off for him as well. So now y'all was in the gym watching some big games this weekend, man. Y'all got some names and y'all put them out there.
One more game that I saw, low kind of non-shoot team was Upside Athletic 16 versus Texas Man Elite 16s. I was going to watch the kid Mason McBride, sophomore man of about 6'4", kind of combo guard, and actually Texas Man Elite was kind of up the whole game in the second half. Man, Mason McBride got a rebound, went coast to coast, and took a guy with him, and got an and-one dunk, and they kind of changed the momentum of that game. He and the inside kid, 6'7", Jared Viesca at Bridgeland, they combined for like 40 points, 18 rebounds in that game against Texas Male Elite. And they're coached by Brian Hamilton, who played here in Houston, former Greater Houston area player, and Oregon, former Boston Celtic, is on that staff too. So those kids kind of get to learn from 2 pros and 2 really good players. And you can tell that they're a group that I may have in my top 5 tomorrow when I put out my OTR exposure power rankings for 16s.
Quick question: is Mason any relation to AJ McBride?
Yes, his younger brother. Yep.
Oh, okay. All right.
Baby brother.
Yeah, he can get it too.
Yep.
He can get it too.
Baby brother.
So, real quick, for you guys that's just tuning in or if you're listening, make sure you tap that share button for us. Subscribe button for us. Hit that red subscribe button, man, so you can tune into the Inside the Booth. Know what we got. Hit that thumbs up for us. Give us some likes so we can kind of spread the news and give us a larger platform for more viewers and listeners, so everybody can have a chance to know who some of the top evaluators and analysts are in the state of Texas, man. So that's going to help us a lot, man and woman. I'm just saying it like that. I don't want to be disrespected. We're so PC nowadays. I just got to say that.
Right.
So, Ani, anybody else? Any other matchups? Anything else that really stood out to
you? I don't know how to say that Louisiana team, that EYBL team.
Florida Lease.
Yeah, Florida Lease. I mean, they got
a little French, Ani.
Yeah, a little bit, man. Yeah, that's why I have you there for so long. But they got 2 kids. They got the kid Alex Hamlin, freshman, talented, strong body, gets to the rim, plays hard. He's the younger brother of Rhode Island commit Gregory Hammond, and they got another kid. Forgot his name, but it was a big kid, about 6'7", long, lanky, was everywhere on the glass. Probably had like 14 rebounds the game I watched him play. But they got about another 3 or 4 dudes that get a lot of stuff done, looked the part, played the part for sure, and they're really talented. Kind of go back to what Brandon was talking about with Texas Hard Workers 16s. They got some promising guys. Really like Vincent. I'm a big fan of Vincent right now. Still got some ways to go. Got to play a little bit tougher, but just a big-time interior presence defensively. And, Jay Sean's been really coming along, especially been doing more off the bounce. Really more considered a catch-and-shoot guy.
Yes.
Now starting to come off the dribble and really do some things. So, definitely a couple of kids that really just got my eye.
All right. I don't have the roster here in front of me, but I know I think it was number 20 or number 50 was tall, about 6'7" kid. Yeah, he had some length to him there. He had some length and some good hands.
Yeah,
and some good hands.
And Team Harden had a kid from Louisiana as well. It's like Terrius Ivory, number 10. Really quick.
Super active.
Super active.
He
he complements Bryce Griggs really well in that backcourt. He also playing a little bit at the 3 just because the doggish mentality he plays with, and he got a lot of stuff done as well.
And what we mentioned yesterday, but a little bit, but not a whole lot, is that Bryce Griggs is a 2022 that's playing up on James Harden's 2021 team. He's playing up on the 1600 team, and he's been doing well. Obviously, I think
Sean Jones too.
And who's that?
Sean Jones.
Sean Jones as well. And they went undefeated on the weekend, correct?
He did 3-0.
So and Sloan mentioned yesterday, guys, that coming into the weekend, he didn't have a team Harden in his top 5 or whatever, top 7 that he had for the city, but he said they made a dramatic jump. So when he releases the ranking, what do you say, Sloan?
They're arguably probably number 1 now.
I get that. I understand that. I see it because like you said, they won. They played some good competition, show who they are, what they can do, and obviously when you have 2 freshmen that are playing on a 1600 team and making some noise like that, based on the type of competition that they played, that goes a long way as well. So I'm just want to make sure we're not missing any other matchups. Anybody else that somebody saw that might be relevant to this conversation right here. I don't know am I missing anybody?
Well, I didn't see this team, but I thought it was worth it to give them a shout out. The Austin Defenders went 3-0 at the Spring Icebreaker. 16U. They defeated Family by 6, the Top Guns by 15, and RL9 by 7. So they have a bunch of 2021 talent. Didn't get a chance to see them, but I definitely will check them out in the near future, just to stay on top of things. And thought that they were worthy of a shout out.
And Texas Impact 15s, even though I know we covered 15s yesterday, but Texas Impact 15s actually had a really strong weekend as well. Got to watch a little bit, but they got some talent. They got some promising prospects.
Okay. Who's coaching those teams?
Cory Booker coaches 15s for Texas.
Not the Congressman Cory Booker.
No.
Oh, okay. Just make sure, just making sure I know he from Jersey, make sure he went down here for the weekend, just coming in for the weekend or something like that. I never know. It's making sure. So when we start talking about let's talk just like strictly players for a minute. And one of the biggest things about it is like, shout out to Blues or Tucci with the Texas Hoops. We give them a lot of credit for the things they do. They have a statewide ranking, and right now what we can do today on this on our platform today is let's kind of talk a little bit about some guys that you all like in this class of 2021 that you may have seen this past weekend, may not have seen this past weekend, or guys that we need to definitely keep an eye out on because they're going to be playing. Because for sure, even like when we start talking about the class of 2022, we know that Derek Selby and Drive Nation, they didn't participate this past weekend. So we know that they have some elite players as well. But who are some of the other top 22s, maybe in the Metroplex area or in the area that you're around, Ani, who you think that we need to make sure we keep an eye out for?
Well, majority of people were in the state championship game, but Trey Clay went to Fame Fair. He played for that Drive Nation group. That's a kid to definitely take a look at. I think he's a top 3 player in that class. Real talented, gets a lot of stuff done. You got those 3D players. I think Sean Ward, those 3 guys on his team in the 15 that play for Ryan Argawal, Zia Brown, and Anthony Black are guys I think are definitely top 25 guys in that class. 2021 definitely got to look at the big boys out of Moutier Elite, Cameron Waits, and then there's another kid, Jameer Cofer. Definitely 2 other guys that really take a look at in that 2021 class.
What are some of the positions of these guys?
So Cameron Waits is center, about 6'10", every bit of 285. Just a load inside and can finish right over each shoulder. Jameer Cofer, more like 2-1 combo, but really gets to the rim. Athletic. I saw their game when they played Sunrise. I was over there, and he dunked on Big and Folly Dante. He dunked on him and went straight to the middle of the rim and dunked right on him. Just fearless, this competitor. Still got to hone in on the skill set, but I mean, kid that really can get some stuff done.
Okay. So those are some good names in that area that we're going to really have to be paying attention to and listen to as we go forward. And maybe some of the teams, mention some of the teams that they may currently play for, because we know that things happen, kids jump around a little bit, but for now, for any other the college coaches that may be wanting to get in contact with y'all or find out who these guys are, we might be able to mention the team that they're currently playing for before some of the, as my man Alex Pugh says, before the body snatchers come.
Right. And there's another kid. There's one more kid I got, the kid from Atlanta, Texas, Damian Collins. He's going to be playing with Team Griffin, 16s this year, but kid out of Atlanta, Texas. I mean, 6'7", 7'2" wingspan, long, athletic. I mean, got a chance. I mean, he's rookie right now, but yeah, his recruitment picked up. SMU just offered, SFA he's offered. I know he's hearing from a few other Big 12 schools, and I know U of H, they're really interested. So, recruitment's picking up.
Okay. What about and what do you see down that area over there, Brandon? Some of the top guys in that region.
Sloan mentioned him yesterday. His name is Nikari Igehan. He goes to Austin St. Stephen's, Jared Allen's old school. And he definitely has a chance. He's probably right now the best 2022 prospect in Austin, if I'm not mistaken. I hope I'm not missing anybody. And then just to come back, I want to lead off of what Ani was saying about Trey Clayton. We updated our rankings at Purple Texas about last month, and we had him at number 9. And we go to the UIL state tournament, and I realized that that's just extremely too low. I completely agree with Ani's statement. He is a top 3 player in the class, without a doubt. He really came in and showed up and showed out.
This is Zaire.
Trey Clayton.
Trey Clayton. Sorry. Okay.
Trey Clayton from Oak Cliff, Faith Family. We running with Drive Nation 15U. And then also for the 2021 class, I got to take a look, and I'll probably talk about him a little bit more soon. But Jarrell Colbert, he played up on Texas Hard Work 17Us, and he's slowly but surely making progress. I noticed that he's getting a little bit stronger. He still needs to put it all together in terms of functional strength and being comfortable with his footwork and whatnot, movements on the court, skill set and stuff like that. But he's starting to make a little bit of progress. You have to be patient with guys, with bigs like that. And so those are 2 main dudes out of Central Texas that caught my eye and that definitely needed some recognition.
I tell you what got me is I find it really interesting, and like I said, I watch things a while, and one thing I've seen is, I don't know if it's a reflection on the city of Houston or whomever, but I've seen that you got some Houston kids that are going to San Antonio to play, and in respect for the Texas Hard Work, because they look really good this past weekend. That hasn't normally happened before. Maybe it's the same thing with a lot of other things. They just going to do something, make this a better opportunity, better situation. But that's just something that has really changed recently, whereas that has never happened before. But hey, the kids are going up there and they're winning and they're looking pretty good like they did this past weekend. Maybe that works for them.
Well, it works in other ways as well, too, because Langston Love comes to Houston, plays with the Hoops, and he looks pretty good this week. Pretty sure that we'll talk about him later. But, yeah, it's just all about getting better. And
Absolutely. So, Sloan, who's some of your top 21s that you're looking at?
Like Ani said earlier, R.J. King played really well. Out of Concordia Lutheran. Damari Williams out of Fulshire played really well.
Yeah, I like Damari.
Out of Westbury Christian played well. Javon Jackson played with Team Harden. Summer Creek looked good. Griffin Datcher was really impressive, especially that game when he had 23. Like you said earlier, Lo, just with his body, that's the biggest thing I kind of noticed that changed on him. His strength, his athleticism kind of got better over the years.
Okay. So.
Oh, excuse me. One kid from JL3 League I didn't mention earlier is a young Kenneth Fareed, Rodney Johnson, Ryan High School. He's really an animal on the glass, plays really hard.
Rodney Johnson. What schools he go to?
Bryan High School.
Oh, with the dreads, with the twist.
Young Fareed.
Oh, young Fareed, strong, man. His hands are just like Fareed.
Wear a size 18 shoe.
Ooh. I think I got some 18s in the garage. I might have to unload those to him.
Yeah.
That's good. So from a rankings perspective, Ani, how are you all doing? How are you doing your rankings and your publishings? Are yours open for the general public? Do you just hold yours, or do you make it just to college coaches?
Mine's open to the general public. I just never announce when I update them.
Mm-hmm.
But I usually do like a compile ranking within the states that I cover. So I'm usually out a lot. So I'm like the Tennessee, Oklahoma, Louisiana, Arkansas, Texas. I use compile about top 75 in this class.
Okay. Is there a date that yours usually come out? Like you said, you don't really you just kind of push it out.
Yeah, I kind of push it. I usually do one in the spring. So around this time, I'm updating the one I got right now. I usually do spring, late summer, probably like July, and then do one in December. So I usually update about that time.
Okay. Where do they need to go to watch to see that?
5starhoopreport.com.
5starhoopreport.com. The number five states. The number five or the word five?
The number 5. And then
5 State Hoop Report. And there we go. What about you, Brandon? Y'all update y'all's regularly or bi-monthly or what? And when will you all be doing it again? And where can they go find it at?
Yeah, we update ours about 3 to 4 times a month. I know our next update for all classes will probably be late May. We don't make it open to the public. You have to subscribe. Somewhat don't agree with that because I want to see I want to know the public's opinion on it because I know like I make mistakes as a evaluator sometimes, and I would love to hear everybody's take on things and their points of views. But yeah, we update ours. We do 2022, 2021, 2020, and 2019. And yeah, it's 2019 will probably be made free just because it's the graduating class. But yeah, they're not. The rest of the classes are not open to the public.
Okay. But is there anywhere they can get tidbit of information, like small little links or something like that, to find out like where a few stand, or just go to the website and just explore it a little bit?
For sure. If you go click on prephoops.com/Texas, you'll be able to see it. The top 5 for each class, 2019, 2020, and 2021, I believe. And give you a little preview of what we're thinking of in terms of the top players in the class.
Okay. And Sloan, we talked yesterday, previously before, but give everybody know where they can go to kind of see your rankings and who you putting out and the type of kids they need to be watching.
OTRexposure.com/rankings. You can find 2020, 2021, and 2022. They just got updated maybe about 10 days ago.
And it's with the summer team rankings as well. You do team rankings and individual.
So my power rankings come out every Thursday, starting last day. So tomorrow we'll have a new top 10 17s, top 5 16s, top 5 15s, Greater Houston area power rankings.
Power rankings, man. I like that. It's the power. And it's coming out every Thursday to give somebody that juice and that energy before the weekend to see like if they need to move up. Was that strategic or you just happen like that?
Everything strategic, baby.
All right. So as we get ready to wind down here, I'm telling, like I said, tomorrow we'll come in. We're gonna go full steam ahead. Go for the 17 under. We're gonna talk 17 under basketball. I'm excited about being able to talk about 17 under because that's obviously the creme de la creme. That's what everybody looks forward to. Everybody wants to hear about and see what teams they need to be watching. So when they go into the gym, they can go straight to that court and ball court or whatever. But it's a lot of different ones, whether it's a shoe team, and there's so many independent teams that have been winning. For example, around Houston right now, Coos Elite has been really making a name for themselves after last year. They went out this past weekend and played some good games as well. 3D, we start talking about Dallas Showtime. Dallas Showtime, Big E. I had a chance to talk to Big E this past weekend, and actually say Big E, how many scholarship kids did you have this year? Got Division I scholarships? He said like 5 or 6 that he could reel off real quick, and that's incredible knowing that. He's not a shoe team. He didn't have a shoe deal. And he's getting more kid scholarships not having a shoe deal than many organizations do that have shoe deals. So those are things that need to be discussed. That's probably not being discussed enough. I enjoy conversations like that. I enjoy the dialogue. So not sure if anybody has anything else they want to share before tomorrow. Is any 16 under that might flew up underneath your radar, off your radar, that need to kind of make sure we show them some love, or any coaches or any teams, and so that we can kind of basically just put them out there a little bit?
No, that's all I got.
All right. Well, we good then. I can tell you what. We'll get back. We'll log back in tomorrow. We'll be back on tomorrow around 12:30 p.m. again. Guys, I appreciate y'all tuning in. I'm going to sign out for us, and we'll talk with y'all. Enjoy your days, and I'm going to bring it home right quick. Listen.
Appreciate you, love.
Thank you.
Take care.
So that was another show that we just did today, talking about the class of 2021. It's great to have Marcus Sloan on, Ani Umana in, and also Brandon Jenkins. You know, so we got these guys are going to be back in tomorrow. We're going to talk some more basketball, and bam, there you have it. We're going to talk 17 under, class of 2020. Class of 2020. Who these college coaches are going to be wanting to see and get their eyes on when this live period comes up. We have other events that's coming on in the month through the month of April that are going to be some key events that these kids can make a stamp on, bring their name out right before the live period starts in April. All right. So we're going to talk about that, who these kids are. We might even talk about different levels so that these college coaches can know, but definitely don't get it twisted. We're going to bring kids inside the booth. We're going to get them in here. We're going to talk to these young men. We're going to talk to them so that you can find out who they are, hear their personalities, just get a chance to know them. Again, as we get ready to sign off, make sure you do me a favor. Turn, look down. You see that button that says subscribe? Hit the subscribe button. Hit that subscribe button. It's only about helping us to be able to grow the platform and get more people interested and let them know that we're here. We are some good media, and there's going to be a lot of media people on here that can talk, analysts, and everyone else that can share their information and give you insight on the game of basketball. Not just information, but give you insight. Insight comes with knowing what happens before it even starts. Information is just something that everybody can get. Also, hit that thumbs up button. Hit that thumbs up button. Hit that like. Make sure you share it. Again, I'm Marlon Lowe. Thanks for being inside the booth. I'm enjoying this. It's, this is a needed platform. It's just basically a visual podcast, and we're enjoying it every day. For Marcus Sloan, Ani Umana, and Brandon Jenkins, I'm Marlon Lowe. Thanks for joining us live inside the booth. Enjoy your day. See you tomorrow. What they used to say back in the day, same bat time, same bat channel, but there it is.